this over here a minute, peeps. You see, this shop has a royal crest, so they've got to suck up to the latest monarch. But they've made a real beginner's mistake here. Everyone knows the old Queen has to face right and not left. It's a blooming disgrace. Hello peeps, how you doing? I'm putting out a video that looks a lot like a motovlog. But don't worry, it's not. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. A very low budget video this. I'm heading, this is the Aldwych, that's the Strand, and I'm heading over Waterloo Bridge. Now Waterloo, as any schoolboy history student will tell you, is named after the great Battle of Waterloo that took place here tens of years ago now. Yeah. What I want to show you, we had in the UK recently a warning, an emergency text as a trial sent to our phones. Now in many countries around the world, they've had these texts for a long time. My friend who lives in New Zealand, he was saying, you know, they send them out there, and you can understand it in New Zealand because they've got volcanoes and they have earthquakes. And when I was in New Zealand in Christchurch, I experienced an earthquake. It was only number 4 on the Rectum scale, but still, nevertheless, that was my first earthquake. Oh, it's just along here now. That was Cardboard City, and that is now an IMAX. But where the IMAX is, that used to be a notorious Cardboard City. That's Waterloo train station, right? Oh, it's still there, and there it is. Yeah. Now, I was in bed the other day, and I heard, poked through my slot, was the weekly copy of Air Raid Siren Weekly. Yeah, and they were talking about that up there. Now I've got to get in a good position. This is a bloody awful place to stop, I know. So here I am. That on top of that pillar there is a siren. Now I do keep saying air raid siren, but it's very unlikely that that one there is an air raid siren, even though it's been up there for years. And many thousands of people will know it as they go in their train into or out of Waterloo. They will see that siren. Nobody knows much about it. The actual history of it has been lost in time. I believe it's a castle siren, and it's either used for warning people of the Cold War, or it's to warn people of flooding, because before 1986, I think it was, we didn't have the Thames barrier, and this part of London would get flooded quite a bit. But the problem with that is, with nobody knowing what it's for, whether it's for an incoming nuclear attack or a flooding, do you go down the underground station or do you find high ground? You know, it sort of defeats the object. Anyway, but there are still a few sirens left around Britain. But what I'll do is I'll show you a more unknown siren. Not far, it's still in central London, and it's sort of in plain sight, but not. Well, you'll see what I mean, I'll go there. But in the UK, here's the thing, right? The island of Guernsey, which we own, I think, in Britain, they had loads of sirens, and they were all taken away by the local government, much to the objection of all the residents there. They really wanted to keep their sirens, but they weren't listened to, and they lost all their sirens because they're very good as a flood warning, and that, you know, because not everybody's got a phone or has it switched on. And in the UK, we have a high security mental hospital, and it's called Broadmoor. We're just nipped through here. Oh, well, that was all right, wasn't it? Yeah, it's called Broadmoor, yeah, And they sent all the worst criminal mental cases like serial killers there, and then they gave the keys to the place to Britain's best loved entertainer, called Jimmy. But Broadmoor, it used to have, I'm in their special box. It used to have 13 sirens, right? And I think recently they took them all out. So you probably got no warning at all that there's a mad axeman. Well, it's not normally an axeman, it's normally an HGV driver with a hammer, is on the loose in your area. I let him do that. He wanted to get in front, you see. Now he's going to pretend that I'm invisible. Or he's trying to be invisible. But I can see him. Yeah. Super dry. Do people still buy that brand? No, we're not here to critique fashions today, but we will do. You know that's leaning, don't you, that tower? Yeah, not known for it, but yeah, it's on the lean. Typical, isn't it? Well, we are in a race. Is huge. What is the sucking power of that? Oh look, if you want your basement, groundworks or an airport sucked away, clever, isn't it? I've never seen such a big sucker. Bastards, look at that. He did it one-handed as well, which I hate him even more for that. By the way, as I'm passing, I thought I'd show you this. Regular viewers know I often ended or started a video here. They didn't last long as a cocktail bar. In fact, I never saw it open as a cocktail bar, or noticed it, probably because I'm... Oh dear, that's a fashion error. I'm not that interested in cocktails, so... There you go. If it had sold pickles on toast, I would have been their biggest customer. But yeah, they didn't make it. There's Liberty's there. It's the only shop that's built out of ship's timbers. Yeah, the Mayflower, all cut up, and they made a department store out of it, which is interesting. Bloody Rolls Royces are always in the way. He had a champagne-coloured Spirit of Ecstasy. Did you see that? The other Siren is along here, but it's well hidden. Okay, here it is now. As usual, there's nowhere to stop. But if we go on the pavement, which is highly illegal, can you see it? Oh, you probably can't. But there it is. So it's almost opposite Queensgate Underground Station, which comes out over there, and there it is. That is under that bracken is the Siren, you see, and I think it's preserved, but it was covered in ivy, and they've cut the ivy down, so at least you might stand a chance of seeing it. Yeah, so that is sort of the hidden Siren, yeah, in London, and it's believed, because just over there is Kensington Palace, right, where then Prince Charles lived with Diana, and the Siren was used very early every morning to get the egg chef to start cooking the eggs, because one of the many weird things about Prince Charles is that he has to have his eggs done perfectly, exactly ready for when he gets up. So, no, I'm being serious. They have a guy boiling eggs for him when they think he might start getting up, and continually boiling eggs, 70, 80, 90 eggs, just so that they have his egg ready. And it sounds weird, doesn't it, and wrong, but no, that's how mad he is, right? And I just... I honestly don't know why anybody would queue for hours and cheer him on at his coronation. He's such a horrible man. He absolutely hates the public. You know, he thinks we're all plebs, and he thinks there's too many of us, and he wants population reduction. That's going to be the King of England. But anyway, it's more about that thing that probably nobody notices. Well, it does look like a tree, doesn't it? Of course, in the trade with sirens, we call them air choppers, because that is technically how they make the noise. They chop air. Oh yeah. On that bombshell, I'm going to say cheerio. Thank you ever so much for getting this far. I know this isn't the usual type of video. I have done talking videos before where I just wander around, and I do wish to emphasise I am not a motovlogger. And on that point, I mostly do clips, and I know a number of you don't like shorts, and you're wondering why I'm putting out a lot of shorts. Well, there's two reasons. One, it's entertaining a lot more people. If you think about most of my content now, it's all clips, and they work very well as shorts. And a lot of people discover the channel by watching shorts than they ever would do by watching my long form videos, which don't get a lot of attention, you know, because they're not evergreen content, and YouTube won't push them because of the awful swearing and that. But that's why I'm doing shorts, and I'm sorry if they annoy you. And you might think I'm pushing out shorts instead of long form content. I'm not doing as much long form content as it goes, because I'm very busy in the real life. You know, YouTube is only a hobby to me. I'm doing a lot of building work, and I have to make hay while it's dry, and sort of thing. So that's what I'm actually doing at the moment. I also got a fair bit of work to do on some of my bikes, which I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm not doing so much long form content for this moment in time. I will be back at it as soon as I can, though, and I'll put something out. And on that bombshell, I'm going to say trivia. Thank you ever so much again for watching one of my videos. If you're wondering what's after the ending here, it's just a bit of mindless filtering, nothing to see, just mindless filtering. And that's it. Thank you, bye, and I hope you come back and watch another one of my videos in the future. Take care now, bye, look after yourselves. Cheerio, bye, bye. That's it, matey.